Hello and welcome back to my channel Get Coded, and today is our class 10 on C programming. So basically this is going to be a class on Fibonacci series, palindrome and Armstrong number. So I'll just brief you all about every series and number later when we focus on each and every part of it. So let's just start with our first series, that is Fibonacci series. So what basically is Fibonacci series is, we would be having two numbers 0 and 1. We are going to add these numbers, we will get a third number. Then we are going to add this third number with the second number and we'll get another number. Okay, so like for an example, if our two numbers, starting numbers have to be 0 and 1. So when we add these numbers, we are going to get a third number 1. So 1 and 1 we will get another number as 2. 2 and 1 we will get another number as 3. 3 and 2 5. 5 3 8, like that. So on till the number that the user wants. Like if he wants till n numbers, so we will run it till n numbers. Okay. Let's just write our logic behind this. Here comes our skeleton. So basically this is going to be the structure of our program. So you all know the first two numbers are to be assigned by us. So here comes the two variables that are going to hold the numbers. So first variable is going to hold 0 and second variable is going to hold 1. Okay, so now I want something to happen here, which would do sum is equals to. Okay, so we are going to add it. So I have declared a variable called as a sum variable. Okay, so here I'll be declaring it sum, initializing it as sum, and then here I want it to do something. So what is something is going to be is that first it will add a and b, and then we are going to change the value of a and b. Okay, so to change value, before changing the value we are going to print the value first. So our is going to be the sum. So here comes the, directly we want the number, so we are going to use %d and we want to display the sum. Since now we have printed this sum, so we no longer need this addition of the thing, so we are just going to swap it. Okay, so this first, which was stored in a, we don't need it. Now we want our a to be this one. Okay, so this one was stored in the variable called as b, so we will assign a to b and b should get the new number, right? The new number which is stored in our sum variable. So here we are going to assign it. So now I want this logic to run again and again, so I am going to use a loop, for loop. So this is a logic that since our first two numbers have been printed, we should start printing our number from the third number. Okay, and it should run till the number that the user has asked us. So the user should also enter something. Since we have used I here, we are going to initialize I here, declare I here, and here we are going to ask user to enter a number and we'll store it. Since we have stored it, now we are going to declare the num variable, because without declaration we are not going to use any variable like that. Okay, so now you know all our numbers will be displayed except 0 and 1. To display 0 and 1, we first need to write a statement known as print, and then we want our 0 and 1 to display since they are integers, %d with some space and then again %d. So first %d would print us a and second would be printing us b. So this is our program, and Here also we want some spacing. So let's run it and check it. So first is asks us to enter a number. Let's enter 5. So it has entered 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 numbers. Okay. If you want till 7 numbers, you can enter 7 here, and then you can get the same output which we had already discussed. Now let's come to another type of identification of number, is identifying whether a given number is palindrome or no. Okay, so what basically is palindrome is, if a number is 151, it is palindrome. Why? Because from here, if you read it from left to right, it is 151, and if you read it from right to left, it is again 151. So basically, if you read from both the sides, you should get the same thing. Like if you go to compare with strings, there is a word called as madam. If you read it from left to right, it is still madam, and right to left, it is still madam. So like that. So let's just start with our basic skeleton of the program. So basically, our logic behind this palindrome is going to be, we are going to break this number. We are going to store this number in some temporary variable first, and then we are going to break it, breaking it in such a way that we are first going to get our remainder, then here then the remaining part, that is the quotient, will be 15. If we divide the entire thing by 10, we get 10 15s are 150, and then we get 1 as the remainder, and the quotient is as 15. So now we can use this 15 and we can get another remainder as 5. So here we get 5, and now the quotient is 1, and if you do it again, you get 1 as the remainder and you get no quotient. And if you do it again, since our condition won't be satisfied, we will be out of the loop, and we will have 1, 5 and 1 as the answer, and we are going to check it with the temporary variable which has already stored the value. So first we are going to take a number from the user and we are going to store it. Since we have used the num variable, we'll just declare the num variable, and now we are going to store this num variable in some temporary variable. Okay, and now since these both values are equal, we can use either this temporary variable or the num variable. So for now, let's just use the num variable. So we are going to use the while loop here. So while our number, if our number is greater than 0, we are going to perform the following function. Okay, so we want something as remainder, and our quotient, the value of the quotient should become our new number. So here the number should become our new. Since we want the remainder first, so num modulus 10, that will give us the remainder, and for the quotient, which would be our new num variable, so here comes the quotient. Okay, so when we have done this, we have used something as rem and temp. We'll just initialize them also, declare it. Okay, so now when we move forward, we want something to happen between this. So here I want some variable, okay, which would be checking, like let's say a variable. This variable would generate the reverse of what we had got. So since we have divided it by 10, we are going to multiply here by 10, and then we are going to add the remainder here. So if in first place, if we had entered 151 modulus 10 should give us remainder as 1. Our a would be a into 10. So first we are going to declare a as 0, because this 1 we want it as 1 only, right? In next time we want it to be something else. So 0 into 10, which would be giving me 0, plus my remainder that is 1. So our new a value has become 1, and num is equals to num divided by 10 would hold 15. So here when it checks again, it will hold 15. Num variable would be 15. So coming to the remainder, it will again 15 modulus 10. So it will be 10 ones are 10 and the remainder is 5. Here our a was 1. So now 1 into 10, that would be 10, plus our remainder, that is 10 plus 5, that is 15. Okay, and now here we would get num divided by 10. So 15 divided by 10 gives the remainder as 5 and the quotient as 1. So here our quotient is 1. So our new num variable has now become 1. So num modulus 10, it would give the remainder as 1, and the a value will become 15 into 10, that is 150, plus our remainder, that is 1. So which gives us the answer as 151, and num divided by 10, 10 zeros are 0. So our quotient is going to be 0, and when this loop runs again, 0 less than 0 is 0 greater than 0 is false, and hence it should come out. Now can you see our entered number 151 is similar to the value that a is holding. So we want to check. So to check, we are going to use the if condition. If my temporary variable that is holding my 151 number, if my temporary variable is equals to the variable which was holding and adding and everything, if they are equal, then I am going to print palindrome. Otherwise they are not palindrome. So else. So now we are going to run our program and check it. So it asks us to enter a number, let's say 151. It is a palindrome. So if you want, you can check many other numbers like 253 you can do. Okay, let it get loaded. Yeah. So not a palindrome. If you run again, if you do 666, it is again a palindrome, because in every from left to right it is also 666, and from right to left it is 666. Okay, so now moving on to our next program is finding whether a number is Armstrong or no. So what basically is Armstrong number is, like if you have a number, let's say 153, since you all know how to count digits, so 1, 2 and 3, there are 3 digits here. Okay, and then we are going to break them, and here we are going to do ones cube. So we are going to raise this number, like first digit raised to the number of digit, plus second digit raised to the number of digit, plus third digit raised to the number of digits. If this gives me the same answer, then it is known as Armstrong number. So 1 raised to 3 is 3, 5 raised to 3 is 125, 3 raised to 3 is 27, and here we get answer as 153. Okay, so like this we are going to do our program. So let's just write the skeleton of our program. So you all know we are going to ask the user to enter a number, we are going to store it, and we are going to use a temporary variable. Let's just do that quickly. Since we have done with this, let's just declare them And now we have declared this numbers, so let's just write our program. So first thing what we have to do is we need to break this. So we need to have some loop here, and then we need some variable, let's say a variable, which would hold our remainder. So a num modulus 10 will be our remainder. So here comes the quotient, which will be stored in the num variable itself, because our num is going to be repeated again and again. And after doing this, we want some variable. Okay, we want some variable, let's say sum is equals to, we want this to be multiplied 3 times, right? So how can you write, you are not supposed to write 1 raised to 3 in programming. So it is similar to 1 into 1 into 1. So here our digit, which was separate, like the remainder which we have got, we want it to be multiplied by itself. So our remainder was stored in the variable a. So I want it to multiply itself 3 times, because we are doing Armstrong of 3-digit numbers. So it should be multiplied by itself 3 times. And after getting multiplied, I can see we are adding with something. Okay, so our something is going to be the sum variable itself, and first thing, our sum has to be 0 for the first time when it runs. Okay, so here comes now our loop. So our loop is while loop. While the number entered by the user is not a 0, then I want this loop to repeat again and again. Okay, and here we haven't declared a, right? So a, then after doing this while loop, we are going to come outside. Like for example, if the user has entered 153, a is going to hold 3, because 153 modulus 10 is going to be 3. Num variable is going to hold 15, and the sum variable, that is a into a into a, which is 3 into 3 into 3, that is 27. 27 plus sum was initialized to be 0. So here comes our 27. So when this runs again, here comes the num variable. So now our num variable is declared as 15. So now here the remainder is going to be 5. Here the num would be 1, and the sum would happen here. Okay, so sum would be a into a into a. So our new a value is 5. So 5 into 5 into 5 is going to give you 125. 125 plus the sum we are going to do. So we would get answer as 152. So when this runs again, our new sum is 1. So here comes 1. And now the remainder is going to be 1, and the quotient would become 0. Now if you see here, a into a into a, our a is 1. 1 into 1 into 1 would give you 1. 1 plus the sum. So 152 plus 1 would give you 153 as the answer, which would be stored in our sum variable. And when this repeat again, this num has been set to 0. So 0 not equals to 0 is going to be false, and it is going to come out of the loop. And now we would be having our if condition. So if our temporary variable is equals to, since we are comparing, we need double is equals to, otherwise it will assign the sum value to the temporary variable. Okay, so now if this condition gets satisfied, we want to print it is an Armstrong number, otherwise it should be printing me not an Armstrong number. So this simple was the logic behind our Armstrong, palindrome and Fibonacci series. Let's just try our program. So let's enter 153 number. See, we got the answer as it is an Armstrong. Okay, so let's just take some random numbers. Like if we take a number as 370, it is an Armstrong number. Number as 371, it is again an Armstrong number. 407, it is an Armstrong number. Okay, so if you take a number as 653, I don't know, this is just a random number. Okay, it is not an Armstrong number. So like that. So thanks a lot for watching my video. So if you liked it, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Also note that I post regularly on Monday and on Wednesday at 6 p.m. So don't forget to watch them and share them with your friends and family. So thanks a lot again and lots of love. Keep watching my videos.